Episode 33.
Hey everybody, welcome to Into the 99, where we have 99 cardboard cutouts, because our commander's number one. I am one of your hosts, Sherman.
I'm Hope.
I'm Daniel.
And I'm Brian.
And today's episode, we're going to take a page from our past. Actually, our very first episode.
It's kind of a special one.
Yeah, Daniel and I recorded this a long time ago. And then a lot of changes happened. We changed our names. We brought in two other people to host. And
glorious other people.
Well, yeah, we decided that it made more sense. Commanders generally play with 4 people. Therefore, 4 people talking makes more sense.
yeah.
Welcome to our permapod.
Yeah. And like at the same time, like we uploaded the episode, but like when we changed our name to Into the 99 and whatnot.
We used to have a different name for the podcast.
I do have to say, you say permapod, but I'm pretty sure that me and you have only played 2 games together.
It's so true, because like every time we come into the LGS or whatever, it's just like, oh hey, how's it going? Hi, how's it going? And like, I'm in the game. You know?
Yeah, we all like split off. I don't think the 4 of us, outside of like playing a couple games of Kitchen Table, have ever played a game together.
Nah.
We played the Mega Commander.
Oh well, Mega Commander totally
That does
doesn't
not count, because you have like 8 to 12 people.
Did we even play together at that point?
No, you're too far away.
Yeah, so
I
that's
played
nice.
Mega Commander.
I won Mega Commander. So
Oh, Hope did win the Mega Commander.
yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
After I tried to kill Dan.
I'm the goat. So.
I love the fact that like that time when you did win, it's like your side, everyone was just like almost like Pro 40, and on our side, everyone's like red spell.
Yeah, everybody's like dying, and I'm just out here chilling.
Yeah, you guys still had 40 life after like turn 5 or 6.
Not only did I have 40 life, but I was also playing a token deck. So like, even though I had nothing on deck, like I was able to just like pump out tons of tokens and just like annihilate everybody.
I loved playing that Torbran. If everyone's like, well, I'm going to try to kill you. I'm like, are you? Are you going to try to kill me?
Yeah?
Is that really the move?
Pyrohemia on deck. Let's see it.
Dan tried
Pyrohemia and Mana Barbs on deck when you did that. That
Dan
was
tried
not
to pull
cool.
that on me last night. It's like, well, I'm going to blow that up. Are you? Here, Brian, I'm just going to show you this card.
Sometimes you need a show of force for threats.
Yeah, sometimes
It was
be like that.
It was a Devout Chaplain. It's tap 2 untapped humans. Just exile target artifact. Target artifact or enchantment.
Ugh.
And I had I had like, I think 7 or 8 humans on deck at the time. I was like, Brian.
I said eat. I don't know what more you want from me.
Anyway,
Wait,
So
yes.
this episode, like we said, it's a pretty special one. We're
we're just going back to
episode
something.
1, and episode 1 was choosing your commander. How to choose your commander.
Yeah, because like when you look at it, like actually it's exciting, because when we first did the episode, okay, there was like 800 commander, like over 800 commanders you can choose. I checked last night. There's like 962 or something like that.
Wow.
There's a lot. And there's the Master, or the Commander Masters, the draft set coming out, that's going to have 70 new
Yeah, so we're
commanders.
gonna hit over 1,000.
And then we've got a Ikoria coming, and there's going to be more and more. We have
Yeah.
the C20 decks. There's Zendikar decks coming. There's Zendikar coming.
There's also
Omnath in a cave.
I hope more expeditions.
Oh,
Bring me back. That'll be their secret lair, though, I'm sure.
Ooh,
Ugh.
bring me back.
Now they're going to pull the random crap that they did with the...
The Godzilla lands.
No.
The
fetch lands?
yeah,
Yeah.
the fetches were a nightmare.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even touching that.
yeah.
it's like, hey, we want you to reprint fetch lands. Okay, here you go. Not like this, please.
Just kidding.
$100 on top of what the second-hand price is.
Yeah, not including shipping.
I like it. It's going to be available for a bit more than $165. Well, it was a bit more.
It's like double.
I mean,
Or triple, depending on who you buy from, where you go.
define a bit.
Define a bit to who? Technically, 360 is a bit more than 160 if you're looking in the terms of $1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
We should just be thankful.
Yeah, thank our wizard overlords.
Yeah. Carpool.
Oh, hell.
Brian's bowing.
Okay, so our topic today is choosing a commander, or how you can choose a commander. Because let's face it, there's a lot. Now, we're including things like we've included in that like 900 or whatever, because we just use Gather. It's including things like vanilla creatures and things that you would never use, but still.
But you could.
But they're available.
You could. They're available.
You could
I
make-
have actually really, sorry to interrupt to cut you off, I've also really, really enjoyed them printing so many uncommon commanders. I think that's been really fun.
Well, it's
I
very
love them.
accessible, right?
Yeah.
Well, and like I was just going to say, is we were talking to the owner of our local game store, and he was saying that he used to have a friend that played a competitive vanilla deck. It was all vanilla creatures.
Just beaters, yeah.
Just little beaters. And like by the time anybody got their like combos ready to go, like everybody had already taken so much damage they just died. Because they would just chip away.
We in the last episode we talked a lot about like deck power level, and commander definitely has a lot to do with the deck power level. Having the wrong commander in the right deck makes your deck significantly weaker. Sometimes you can make your deck much better just with a switch of a commander.
Yeah.
I've had just commanders that I loved the idea of. They still fit the theme, and maybe it's a switch out. We were talking with one of our contributors, and he runs Arcanus, and we even just started ideas maybe using Kefnet to draw, because you have the draw mana, you can threaten counter spells. You're not at 6 mana to tap. Like he's a big creature and stuff, right? But just those conversations of how you choose your commander is a really, really interesting thing. And especially with CEDHs, it's kind of the talk of the town right now for everyone. And you see so many people who try and tier out the commanders. And I don't think that's a good way to look at it. I don't think that just something is just inherently good. And I don't think you can look at any commander and think that's not a good commander. Kenrith's one of the best group hug commanders, and he's an amazing CEDH commander. Yeah. And a lot of commanders, depending how you build your deck, are going to sit there. You don't need your commander to win a game, but that's the whole point of it. It's accessible from turn 1. You want to be able to play it. So, like, what goes into choosing them with so many?
There should be some value, inherent value there.
Well, and that's the thing. The commander is their best resource because it's always going to be there. So
that's safe. Like for like the very first topic that we have here is like, why is it important to choose a good commander? Mm-hmm. Do you know what? Like, I don't even go for say a good commander. Mm-hmm. I go for, and I use the exclamation on that, because I go for something that's not in the meta. I go for something that not 4 people at my LGS is playing.
Yeah, because like you don't want to be like the 12th person that plays a Madrofa deck.
Yeah, so that's where like most of my decks are from outside of what everyone else is playing, because I don't want to go up and be like me and Daniel, we played last night, Tulane versus Tulane. Like, I don't want to sit down and be like, oh, it's 3 Tulane decks and a random.
Well, everybody here has
Tulane and Alila.
Yeah, everyone here does have a Tulane deck.
It is fun to play different versions of decks, but like you said, right? Everyone kind of gets a little too in the common things. When Muldrotha came out, Muldrotha really was all the rage at our game store. Yeah. Everyone wanted to build one because it was that. The same thing, yeah.
Angie, like, because there's only so many Madness cards. Like, let's be honest. Most of them are all built.
A lot of people really, really liked that deck, for sure. But yeah, like, it's just so many people get into the just general idea of making what is powerful because it's what you see, right?
Yeah.
You see, oh, well, Sherman's Muldrotha deck worked really good. Like, maybe I should try this commander.
I should make a Muldrotha deck.
Or that's a really cool commander and stuff.
And one other thing I also wanted to touch on is that this really ties into our last episode with the power scaling. And the reason I say that is not even for the power itself, but for the idea of what experience are you trying to get out of how you're playing.
Yeah, true.
And choosing your commander really reflects that. So
yeah, that's true. You're not going to make an Urza group hug deck, no matter how hard you try.
Yeah. So, well, and even like you bring up Kenrith, the experience that you're looking for can really, really affect that. Because somebody might look at Kenrith and be like, yeah, 5 colors, CEDH, gonna hit this, gonna crush everyone. And somebody else might look at that and see, 5 colors, life gain, like all of this fun stuff, like graveyard recursion, like I can just do everything and everyone and crush it. Yeah, like I just think that has such a major effect, and that's something that should really be considered when you're trying to pick your commander, is what are you looking to get out of your games.
Take a breath.
Yeah, it's so true.
No, I run on.
That was a long sentence. Are you just trying to show off your lung capacity there?
Well, you guys just talk so much that we got to get our turns in.
Yeah, that's accurate. I have been practicing, though.
I'll
We've
be
been doing
quiet.
vocal exercises.
And like the one thing with like Kenrith that I'm looking forward to is like or once Ikoria comes out, is to make like a theme deck. I want to make my humans around him. So
yeah.
like even I'm like thinking about it, and like even so say like you last on Wednesday when we streamed, Daniel played his Rune. So Rune and Tulane,
pretty similar colors, similar commanders,
and they bounce things, but Daniel's True Lane was all about ETBs, where mine really wasn't. So when you play, you can see like different routes that you.
Oh,
can
you mean
go.
my rune? Yeah.
Yeah.
My Bant rune. Yeah, it's all about ETBs and flickering them in and out with rune.
Yeah.
Whereas True Lane,
He does flicker.
he does flicker, but he lets you get that cast. He's a little safer ramp, in my opinion. They're both. I think True Lane also has a 5 mana, is he not?
Yep.
So they're both 5 mana Bant commanders. They have really, really similar effects, and they're such different decks. Your deck, as is, your True Lane deck would still function with Rune, and my Rune deck would still function with True Lane. It's just like, what are we trying to play? How do we want to play it? And what fits my playstyle? True Lane is a strong commander. He's not really my playstyle of commander. I like that more aggressive, like, I'm going to ETB, I'm going to flicker, respond that way, where True Lane's a little safer. You can get your things back. You ramp, you draw. He's a great commander.
He's so much fun. My True Lane deck is fun just because, like, you know, I put in the Planeswalkers and I use the clock spin to like raise the loyalty counters, buy it back.
Yeah, like there's just a lot of cool things that you can do with any color combination.
Well, sometimes you don't even notice, like you're just playing and then something happens. You're like, I didn't even see that trigger, and you're just like, do you know what? Like, that was so much fun that I'm gonna start building around that effect, or
exactly.
Or try to do this again.
You know what's funny? Like I mentioned this in the Discord in the stream before for fun, and then I started thinking about it, and I might actually try making this deck out of True Lane, where I was mentioning in the Discord. I'm like, I want someone to make a deck where you have Hive Mind. And Hive Mind is a blue enchantment. It's like 6 mana. It's like 5 in a blue, I think. I can't remember. But like whenever someone casts an instant or sorcery spell, everyone gets a copy of it, basically. So I'm like, hey, let's have someone like make a deck where you have Hive Mind, Enter the Infinite, where you draw, you draw your whole library and then play Tempting Worm and see what happens.
Hell yeah!
And I'm like, someone has to make this happen. I'm like, why can't I just do it?
Yeah.
I'm just like,
you are someone.
Yeah, I'm like,
You're the
ooh,
someone.
this is fun.
You can tear apart your True Lane. I think we'd all be happy with that.
It's not okay.
I don't mind the
it's
True Lane. I
kind.
think it's
I don't mind
okay.
either.
Mine's not bad. Mine's not that strong. It takes a while to get off, and I give everyone that opportunity. So, but I ran hard in that deck, I'll admit. Anyways, so yeah, play to your mana. Like, you know, like what does everyone else in the play group play? Do you want to play the same thing, or you get ideas from it? You know, do you want to pick something that's like more like people haven't seen before, stuff like that? But
some people want to do what's tried and tested. They know that this deck works, that this is an archetype they like, and some people just like to try break the meta, try play something very different. I've said many times, I have a CEDH Selvala Explorer Return deck. And I've talked to lots of CDH players, and none of them could wrap their brain around the fact that I use that competitively. They're like, what? Why? They're like, what's the combo? Like, it's not the meta. So it really all depends on what you're trying to get out of the game. But, like, try different commanders. You're going to try. That's why I like the commander precons so much, coming with the 3 different things. They give you 3 kind of lightly guided play styles, and you see what you like. And everyone's going to have a different playstyle. Not everyone is going to like the same kind of decks as me. I personally don't really like playing stacks decks. I talk all the time about it. Most of those effects just even annoy me while I'm doing them. I'm like, oh, this isn't very fun.
And that's why,
you and I make stacks next time.
And that's why I got rid of my Kira deck.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, I can pillow 4. Well, Kira's something.
It's like 2 in blue or something like that.
Yeah, and
The
essentially,
glass spinner?
Yeah, and when the first spell to target a creature automatically gets countered. So I built stacks around that, so no one could target any of my stuff.
Well, that's what I mean. You have to have 2 removal spells to hit any of your creatures, while you're probably also having removal
Counter
spells.
spells.
But, like, it's not fun.
No.
It's
So I took it apart.
Well, it can be fun for the player playing.
It all depends on what you like to play, right? There's no right or wrong way to play.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, you've got to experiment, and until you try new commanders, you can't really know what you like. Like, you can't pick up one deck and be like, this is the only way I'm ever going to play and ever going to enjoy playing.
Yeah.
Right?
And diversifying what you play makes a huge difference. Like, I feel that when you try different play styles, you grow as a player. Like, your skill level grows because you start to understand things that you normally wouldn't.
Well, you understand what goes into the other decks too, right? Like, if you don't play any blue and you suddenly build a blue deck, you're going to be looking through blue cards and being like, oh, I didn't know that this is it. The color wheel does have strengths and weaknesses in each color.
Yeah.
Strength, Cyclonic Rift.
Weakness as Boros.
I feel attacked.
I was gonna say, like, if the other thing with that is, like, if you start playing different play styles specifically, like, if you're someone like me that, like, really like likes to hit with bonky boys, if you play like a more spell heavy deck, like something like that, like chances are when you go back to your other decks, you're going to edit them and be like, oh, well, like I could bring this in from that deck and make this deck stronger.
Yeah.
Or just make it synergize better, or just make it more consistent. Whatever it may be, right? So
Yeah. And you can play around, like, you know, how...
fiddle with it a little bit.
Yeah, and you can always like power up or lower the power of your deck if you really want to.
Totally.
I don't like tuning down decks. Like I did that with my Locust God before. I kept on tuning it down to the point where I had to rip it apart and rebuild it because every time, like when I originally had it, it was really, really strong in my play group. So I kept on lowering the power level again and again and again. And eventually I'm just like, you know what? I don't care. I'm just going to ramp it up again. I'm just going to play other decks that have like a lower power level where, you know, no one really cares. But when I bring out Locust God, they know, okay, it's time to go nuts and target him like crazy. I'm like, okay, sure. I don't care.
That's one thing I'm super excited for within the precons, that Locust God.
Yeah.
Nice
Cannot wait to build it.
bonus.
It's a fun deck. Yeah, well, he's a great commander on his own.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you see more things, you see things that work. So you really have to learn, like, what do I like to play? Like, what colors work for me and what commanders are available in those colors?
Yeah.
Well, that's like, even I was gonna say, like, with regards to like picking specifically, like with my stupid deck, my stupid trash deck that I haven't even play tested yet.
Hope's
Who's
Chaos.
the commander?
No, not that one.
Oh, your other one?
Yeah, my stupid one.
Your red one?
No, the blue one.
Yeah, that's your Chaos one.
Oh, well, it's kind of chaos.
It's not kind
trash.
of Chaos, it's
Who's
braids.
the commander?
Braids.
Oh,
But the thing, blue braids. But the thing is, like,
Well, if it's black braids. Ooh, we playing ban list, baby.
ooh, we're getting wild, baby. But no, the thing is like, I wanted to make a really stupid Leviathan Kraken Octopus deck.
Ah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Dom, tentacle porn. Loved it. Wanted it more than anything.
Ain't it come
and
out?
like,
Yeah.
I wanted to make like a Kraken or a Leviathan or something like the commander. But Daniel's like, well, like,
Makes a little more sense to at least try to cheat these big things
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to raw cast Lorthos.
yeah, like, I mean, especially more than once.
Yeah, it's
So,
true.
and it's not like I have the advantage that I do in like the only other deck that I have that's a super expensive commander is the Ur Dragon, but I could cheat him out hard, and he
Yeah.
has the Eminence ability.
Yeah.
right?
Well, and he's got green to
And he's
actually
got multiple
ramp.
colors. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's
like,
5 color.
Easy to cheat out. So
Yeah, blue, not the best ramping color.
new.
no.
But that's the thing, though. Like, it comes down to, like, choosing a color makes a huge difference. Because, like, you know, if you're a beginner, let's say, okay, and you're trying to get into EDH, I strongly suggest going into colors that you're familiar with, that you like, things like that. Okay, so if you're a black-green player, so you're a Golgari, okay, then choose a commander that's in those colors, okay? It doesn't have to be just those 2 colors. You can go in 3 colors or whatever. But I don't
choose stuff
suggest
you're
anything
comfortable
more than
with.
3 colors.
If you're new, I recommend either mono or dual.
Yeah.
Jumped in with 5 colors like a boss.
Sure
No,
did.
Well,
Like, my Locust God was my first deck that I officially put time and effort into, okay? I had, like, 2 other decks before that I kind of put together just with cards that I had,
Yeah.
and they didn't do well. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to plan this out and go out and buy the cards. And Locust God was the first one. And the reason why I put time and effort into that is because I am a Is-It player. It's blue and red.
Is it?
Is it?
Sorry,
I
I
don't
hate
know.
myself.
Well, that's I think everyone is going to find a guild that really does represent their playstyle. Like, no matter who
Yeah.
you are, one of them is going to represent what you like to do.
Yeah. Then you could deal a splash here and there, or 2 splashes,
Yeah.
3.
I have to say, if you have the money, pick up one of the anthology sets. Get the 4 different
Oh,
commanders.
yes.
Those are
And then-
very, very valuable.
Yeah.
I hope they bring them back because
Anthology 3?
I'd really like them to refinish the cycle of those first very unavailable decks.
Yes.
It'd
So
be really
expensive.
cool to get the Riku again. It'd be really cool to get the because it's Riku Animar is that one, and then Zedru was one of the initial ones, and then Karador.
Oh, yeah.
No, it was Gave.
Yeah.
What?
It was one of them.
I gotta remember.
Yeah, like that. Like when I got into Commander, I had no idea what I was building, even like an idea of what I wanted to do. So I got the anthology set. Boom! I have 4 commanders. Let's leave it up. Let's go out, play a couple games,
Get a feel.
Yeah,
Well, and
And
in
then-
all those 4, you've got 3 different commander choices built in
all
at a
different
minimum.
colors.
Yeah, exactly. So then you have 12 play styles of deck to choose
Well,
from.
and like, what a intense format to try to start playing, right?
Yeah.
Like with something like standard, like you have these cards that you can use, and you can have this many.
Everyone's locked in to
this
a
is
certain
this
set.
is it.
Yeah.
You know, whereas commander, it's like you can pretty much play anything that you want,
And like the fact is like.
and you have to have one of each. Like that's so much.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
To
Like
start building
the
those decks, it's intense.
Because, like, when you build, like, a 60-card deck, okay, standard, modern, pioneer, doesn't matter, okay? It's way easier with 60, because, like, you know off the bat, like, anywhere from 20 to 24 lands, for example, is part of it, right? And the rest of it, you're just only finding maybe, like a dozen cards or so, because you're going to have 4
Multiples,
copies of them.
Yeah, you're realistically playing with 10 to 12 different cards.
Yeah.
Because if you have 4 off, that's 10 cards at a 40 card deck with 20 lands. So
Yeah.
you're playing 10 cards, and that's nothing. That's how many cards I sit and
It's
try
like a
and cut.
hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but with Commander, it's way crazier, because you have your Commander, and then you have your other, like, let's say, like, I put in 37 lands for argument's sake. Okay.
That's a lot.
Well, it might be a lot. It might not be enough for
Anyways.
some decks. But anyways, it doesn't matter. You still have the rest of the card pool that you have to look for. That you can't just be like, okay, I'll put in 4 lightning bolts. Oh wait, I can't do that.
Yeah, you have
So-
to put in a whole other deck
Yep.
Yeah,
of singleton.
yeah.
Yep.
It's like, okay, like how much removal do I need? Because like how much removal can I find? How about that?
And in Commander, too, a lot of the cards, the consistency goes down. If you have 4 lightning bolts, you know that you've got a pretty good chance of being able to blow a creature off, like for instance, a Birds of Paradise.
Yeah.
Blow it right off the board.
Bolt
you
the
know?
birds.
Bolt that bird right in the face. But in Commander, if that's your one card that you're using for it, then you're really
Who knows
going to
where
be
it is,
struggling to
right?
find it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll have a 1% chance, well, slightly more than 1% chance of drawing it.
Yeah. Well, and that's just it. It's very fun to
Probably
see
like
what can happen.
3 at that
But-
point. Whatever. Anyway,
It doesn't matter. Oh, we won't go into the math.
math doesn't matter.
I will
not-
argue that.
I'm not a.
But we're gonna quickly go through some of the things just to consider when you're doing it. Then I think we're gonna choose just each at the end what we like what we pick a commander based on.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair. Okay.
Hit it.
So, like, choosing colors is one thing. Okay. Also comes down to the theme. Like, if there is a theme, or if you want to play a certain theme or something like that, that also makes a huge difference. All right. Because if I,
Tribal and-
oh yeah, because like if I want to play zombies, for example, all right,
Scare
I'm not
blood.
gonna play mono red.
Yeah, run Neheb and nothing else.
Like, what's
You
the point?
you got a couple red zombies.
But that's what I mean. Not enough for support.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah, I can throw in changelings maybe, but I think there's like maybe like 3 changelings I could
Red
probably put in that are
changelings?
red. But like it comes down to what the theme is you want. Do you want to play a certain tribal? Do you want to
Yeah.
play like big stompy? Do you want to be like Daniel and just
No.
Threaten the board.
threaten the board?
Threaten no matter what. No cards in hand, no mana untapped. Do you
what-
want to do that?
One thing I've been really
I'll kill
enjoying
you.
is we're playing a lot of virtual EDH, and so many people right now have this like, oh, don't negotiate with terrorists thing. And so many people have that, and they don't know that I'm serious when I say I'm going to do what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So I had someone I was just playing in Discord the other day, and someone's just like, yeah, we don't negotiate with people. And I told them, I was like, I'm going to strip your lands out. And they're like, that's fine. I was playing my Windgrace deck, and I just literally just kept bringing back Wasteland Stripland, and I took all of their lands for the whole game. And they're like, well, you're kind of being annoying. I was like, I told you I was going to do this. You should have taken the deal. And everyone else is just like, people would start targeting me. I'm like, you're next for these strip mines if you do that. And they're just like, all right.
He makes good on it. He makes good on his promises.
You know
Well,
what?
someone, I had my Crucible of Worlds out, and someone's like, well, I'll blow it up. And I was like, are you sure you want to do that? That's one of my favorite lines. If I should have an are you sure you want to do that jar?
Seriously?
Where I have to put $1 in every time I say it, and then I'd buy my next EDH deck. But someone's like, yeah, I'm going to get rid of it. And I was like, all right. And they're like, well, pass. And I was like, all right, Eternal Witness.
Yeah, get it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Playing 5 lands a turn in Windgrace, and I was like, they're going to take those 5 lands out.
Yeah.
Oh.
I
This boy's got the devil in him.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Well, the thing is, too, my favorite thing with regards to Daniel doing that is, like, he'll always try to threaten me, like, in games, and he's like, oh, you sure you want to do that? I'm like, yeah, and then I'll, like, swing at him for 39, and he'll immediately kill me next turn. But it's not what it's about. Now someone else can kill him.
Sometimes you have to send the message.
Sometimes
you gotta do that.
You gotta kamikaze a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes it'd be like that.
But, like,
One swing of the axe rarely fells the tree.
Exactly.
Yes. So, in the end, though, like, for what we're talking about, like, you have to kind of decide how do you want to do it. Like, if you decide, like, because having a theme also matters of what colors you're choosing.
Yep.
Okay, so
Entirely.
yeah, like if you're doing something like good stuff deck, it doesn't really matter as much. You can choose kind of whatever, but like if you want, like, certain colors have strengths and weaknesses.
We talk about the pie all the time.
Yeah.
And there's just so many things that the colors just don't have access to.
Yeah.
Or minimal access.
You're not gonna have a very good mono black life gain deck. You might have a whip of variables in it. You might draw into exsanguinate. It's not gonna be a very good main theme to go into.
No, like you'll chip away at people's life totals with things like, you know, like if you do like an aristocrats kind of style, but that's besides the point. Okay, like there's exceptions for everything. Like I know like almost every single counterspell in all the other colors except for blue.
Yeah.
Because I like doing that.
All of the counter spells.
Well, okay, yeah, pretty much all the counterspells. That's besides the point. So, like deciding on a theme makes a huge difference because once again, you know, if I wanted to play zombies, I'm not gonna have red in my deck. It's kind of pointless. I'm gonna choose black or blue or even white.
Black,
Yep.
blue.
Or
white.
or Demir.
Black, white, blue.
There.
Oh,
my
yeah.
God.
Esper.
Yeah.
Esper.
You know.
Esper
So
OP.
it, you know, and like if you like, you know, Daniel with his Wind Grace, if you want to go something like that, you know, where you want a Lands Matter deck, okay, green's gonna be a huge part of it, right? Because green has a lot of things where, like, you know, cultivates, damage reaches, rampant growth, things like that. Well, actually, does rampant growth?
Varsity.
Yeah,
The only problem with playing that color is that every time you do something annoying, you have to say "Welcome to the Jungle" when people complain. It makes them much angrier. Strip people's lands, and they're like, "Can you not do that?" I'm like, "Welcome to the jungle, baby."
Oh, terrible.
No, terrible. That's terrible.
The best way to play.
I do have to say, like, even when you're going into, like, a theme or a certain color, you might find, say, 2 or 3 commanders that actually may do what you're looking for your deck to do.
Well, it's funny. Like, Brian and I both had like pretty similar Selesnya decks, and I think both of us started with the same commander, which was Karametra.
Yeah.
Karametra just has a great ability where you cast, you draw creatures. But just over time, I found my Selvala worked a little more for it. For what I wanted, it ramped me a little harder than Karametra did, and Brian's Selvala is more enchantment themed, so he was casting more enchantments than creatures and not triggering the Karametra as often as he would like to. Whereas now on Selvala, he's got that extra mana. Like it really works, and that slight change.
It does.
Yeah, it just
annoying.
The slight change of being able that I think honestly just really accelerated that deck excessively.
Yeah.
Yeah, too much.
I think that's your.
Excessively.
I think that's probably like your best.
That's one of my favorite commanders when people are like, "You want to play a big game?" I'm like, "I'll play with 10 people. Let's go."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tap that Selvala for 10 mana, 10
Hell
life.
yeah.
Let's hit it, boys.
Yeah, there's no downside to that. Like, more people. Sure.
Yeah.
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 Well, and everybody, I'm over here like begging you to parlay. I'm like, I need the drop.
Brian's
baby.
enchantments aren't
Give
any
me the
less
drop.
shroud in a 10-player game.
Yeah.
It's like a temple bell, but better for you.
But better.
I gain 10 life, get 10 mana.
But yeah, so
I was
it's
gonna
really like what fits in the themes.
Well, and the thing too with the theme is like I said before, like looking at all the commander options is super overwhelming.
Yeah.
So being able to, especially if you're newer, even if you're not, like it's a lot of options, and too many options is not always a good thing. There's definitely too much of a good thing. So it can be intimidating, and it can be enough that some people are like, you know what, I don't even want to do this. So like being able to narrow it down at least to a theme, then you can see like, okay, so what I want to do, I've got, let's say, 10 to 20 options of things that like are in the colors that I want that might be able to help me.
Or the theme I
and
want.
then and then narrow it down to like color, and then narrow it down from there to a single one that you like, and then but keep those other ones in mind in case the one that you like ends up not working.
And you know what?
You can tune it from
the
there.
The power of the internet has definitely made this
a lot
easier.
Well, just even EDH Rec as
Existing.
That's what I was gonna say.
It works. A lot of people can just build a deck on EDH Rec, and then you edit from there. Most people will pull up this commander, see what's available, make their list, and edit from there.
They have the different themes that other people have built and uploaded it. So you're able to go this, and it's like, oh, well, this card was seen in 15% of decks. Do I want to run it? Does its ability actually work?
It is a really good deck building tool.
Yeah.
I think everyone who plays Commander goes to EDH Rec at some point for it.
Oh, for sure.
Well, it's also nice just to see like the different options, right? Like, so if you find a commander that you like and then punch it into EDH Rec, and like you said, you see all the different theming, it might give you an idea that you didn't have before that you might really like.
I don't usually build my decks off EDH Rec, but a lot of the time after I'm done building them,
you'll compare.
I just go to see what it is, and I'm like, oh, like I never even would have thought of that card in it. Like I like to see how other people have built the deck after I've built it.
Yeah.
But there's lots of decks that I'm like, what's like a fun first sliver deck? And then I'll just be like, these are what they do, and they run like Maelstrom Nexus, and then they run. So I look at those silly things, and I've built decks flat out across those.
And remember that like resources like EDH Rec, they're fantastic, but you're not tied down to just doing those themes that everyone posts, because like
it's a resource, not a rule.
Like if you look up Masako the Humorless, okay. Like, you guys know
I love your theme for it. It's so cool.
My theme's just with using vehicles and banding, okay? Where, like, because I can still tap
Everybody
to equip...
put your seatbelt on and get in the car.
Yeah, I can tap to equip to crew a vehicle, and then I can attack, but I can defend with them. I can
with
still
the tapped creatures because of Masako.
Yeah, and I can still... crew vehicles that are tapped too. It doesn't matter. There's no saying anything. But when I look at Masako, no one's done a theme like that.
Yeah, that's the only. I will not argue that I have not seen that.
I've never seen banding ever.
6 feet away.
Banding is a fantastic ability. So
It's not social distance friendly.
Yeah.
no, it's not. It's definitely not.
Band together, everyone, get close.
But like. No, where were we? But yeah, like choosing a commander for a theme works.
Theme or playstyle is so important.
Yeah, your playstyle.
Don't pick some. Sorry to interrupt, but I just really don't pick something that everyone else tells you to play because it's more powerful or it's more blah. Like I get it. Yes, Urza's the strongest blue commander.
I would never play an Urza deck. That's just like not my jam.
Yeah,
that's not fun for me.
But it's like, like if you're playing like a Dorn deck and someone's like, well, why don't you play Arcades instead?
I'm like, because I like Doran.
Yeah, I like Doran.
They're also totally different.
I've had lots of people say that. I love to just like say that. Why do you choose Doran? I'm like, big booties.
Yeah.
Yeah. It comes down to what you like. It comes down to what you like. Tell
me more about what you like, Brian.
Okay, but another thing that you have to consider amongst all of this, though, is your budget.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, that is a huge thing because, like if you're choosing a commander, let's look at it this way. Okay, Magic is expensive, or it can be expensive.
No.
Okay. No. But if it's a difference, like if you're investing in a deck, let's say you have $100 to invest, okay, in a new deck, because it's going to be a budget. But it's like, I want to play with Skittles. That's like $40. Okay, so that's 40% of your budget. Is it worth it?
What's Skittles?
Skidrix.
Scrithix, the Blight Dragon.
Yeah. I thought isn't that the Impact one?
Yeah,
it's the one with Infect.
Yeah.
Yes.
How about we explain the card?
His name is Scrithix the Blight Dragon.
Oh yeah, you're too far away from your mic. I can hear you.
Yeah. So anyway, Scrithix the Blight Dragon. Long story short, you can give him haste. He's Infect. He's a dragon. He is an expensive
flies.
card. He's mono black, legendary.
He's
you
mono
can
black. He flies
people.
with Impact.
Gross.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, the other thing too is if I want to make a sliver deck on a budget, Sliver Queen's not going to be my commander.
No.
You know, First Sliver's a little more accessible than the Sliver Queen.
Yeah.
Overlord's a little more accessible than the Sliver Queen.
Or maybe you'll put in a Morophon.
Yeah.
That
Morophon's
was
another
my
one.
thought too.
Yeah. So
But that's it. It's like even just that right there. Like me and Sherman defaulted to Morophon, whereas you're just like, oh.
Morophon is good because then you can hide what you're playing.
Yeah.
People don't see that I'm playing the Sliver deck.
I'm going to question whenever I see a Morphlon come in from you.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is.
Oh no, I have the Secret Lair Overlord. That's the only sliver for me.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Woo.
Out here flexing. That's not true. You have 2 sliver decks.
Yeah, but the other one's
Like a real degenerate.
the other one is a Sliver Queen combo deck, and it's just not a sliver deck. It's just
It's
dumb
not a
deck.
sliver deck. It just has a.
it's a deck I
sliver
never play, and then I
commander.
look through it and I just get angry at the cards that I have in it because I have like just a ton of dual lands in it. I have like a foil Doubling Season, a foil Rites of Flourishing.
Well, and then you go out and buy rights, and you go out and buy all these other things.
I have like foil Parallel Lives, foil Anointed Procession. Like I just go through it and I just get so angry looking at like my good token cards that are in it because I don't play it. I've played like 4 games in total across the entirety of time with it.
Let's rip it apart.
And it just has so many of those like
With hope.
nuts. Like
But that's the thing. It comes back to this, okay? Like, how much money do you want to invest in?
well,
something
that is the
you
other
know?
thing. If I had a more realistic budget for playing Magic, I would not be playing that way.
Yeah, like I play a lot of budget decks just because I try not to put too much.
You have a working brain.
I try not to put too much money into it because I have a lot of bills to pay.
Well, it's
and all that
just,
stuff.
it's just priorities,
It's just
right?
priorities.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's that
like-
little pesky thing called life.
Yeah, but like my
I like to eat.
my food budget is like a lot.
Astronomical.
Well, like you guys see how much I eat.
Yeah, Sherman
Yeah.
can eat a lot.
Yeah.
My food budget alone is probably like anywhere from $500 to $800 a month.
Yeah.
What?
What?
That's my
lot.
food budget. $500 to $800 a month.
Mine's not that much paying for Daniel.
The minimum amount of calories I take in per day is 2,500. I average around 3,000 to 5,000 calories a day.
But he's so small.
He is high efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He is high efficiency.
but
How do you do this?
I don't know. I just like eating.
Teach me your ways. I too like eating, but I don't look like you.
Yeah, fair. So it comes down to like the differences in us, okay? Like I like having like more budget themes and anything. If I have $100, I'm not going to spend $40 or $50 on a commander and then spend $50 trying to find all these other cards to fit into it. I'd rather just go for something that's
25-cent cards.
Yeah,
and,
or
like,
a $1
really,
commander
like,
or
go
$10
crazy with the
commander.
dollar.
Well, we've talked a lot about Urza today, and Urza is a really good example of an expensive commander on his own.
Yeah.
But the cards that go in him to make him the best Urza deck you can get are all expensive. It's your
Yeah.
Winter Orb, your Static Orb, your Trinisphere, all of your annoying stack pieces. That doesn't mean they don't function well. It doesn't mean they're not strong. But it's just like, again, if budget's not accessible, like times are tough. You have a bunch of kids. You just don't have a ton, like car repairs are going on, any of that stuff, right? Then you don't really want to start building a deck that you're not going to realistically be able to play for a year while you individually buy pieces.
Yeah.
And while I try to curate them, or even with regards to like trying to individually buy pieces, like if there are cards that you like can't find,
Locally,
like that.
yeah.
that
Does
puts you in the
does
same-
anyone here want to guess why I don't have an Urza deck?
Because you can't find Urza.
Bang.
Yeah.
The minute I find Urza, I'll buy it, but there's no Urzas anywhere.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
buy
hard to
a
find.
foil one.
Or Crick, or...
The same thing, a ton of
Yara.
those. Yawgmoth's never in. Yeah, like a lot of those, like I see Uros in right now, but that's because that's what everyone's cracking, and I don't want to build an Uro deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very true. It comes down to a lot of things. Like,
Budget, accessibility.
well, like, it's like, if I wanted Angus McKenzie,
Yep.
Agnes.
it's like, one, it's expensive.
He's a fun
Two,
card, but he's
Sean
like
Connery
he's $200 or
just pops in my
$300.
head.
It's a great card, okay? Like,
He
it's-
basically he's a fog on a creature with
hate
like
him.
taps.
Yep.
But like
I
that's
hate 'em.
So annoying.
The 2 creature heavy people.
It's so slow. It's like the slowest decks on earth. I hate
it's a really
them.
good pillow fort group hug like stop combat
You're gonna
damage
swing
deck.
at me?
But he is not an accessible commander and stuff,
That's
right?
really
And
a real shame.
if they reprinted him, I'm sure that he would be fine, but they're
he's
never
on
going
a-
to. He's reserve list.
Yeah, he's
Every
reserve
copy.
list.
Is he?
Yeah, he's reserve list because he came
Thank
out.
God.
He came out during Legends.
Yeah, he's
I
a
think.
Legends. Same as Sliver Queen. Sliver Queen reserve list. What?
Yeah, the fact that Sliver Queen is on that's really bothersome.
It's like $200.
Yeah, Sliver Queen should have. They should have never gave
They
Sliver
should
Queen
have never
$1,200.
gave her $1,200.
Yeah, no, that's that card's nuts. Do you know what Sliver Queen does, Brent?
No,
Pay 2 colorless, make a sliver.
gross.
Yeah,
Well, I'd assume for a queen.
it's real bad with mana echoes. As soon as you make 1 sliver,
Game over.
you have infinite
that card
slivers.
that I put out yesterday that makes activated abilities cost 2 less, so it only really cost 1 or 3.
Yep, it would only cost 1. So
I
the
don't think it
same.
can go down to 0.
The same with the training grounds, anything like that. But in like mana echoes is whenever a creature enters, you get 1 colorless mana for each creature that shares a type with it. So as soon as you make the first as soon as you make 1 sliver in the Sliver Queen, you just infinitely generate colorless mana and can make as many slivers as you feel is dumping mana into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
And we got rid of
mana.
mana burn too, so you don't have to worry about that extra mana.
Yeah, so like in my Sliver Queen deck, it's not really a sliver deck, it's just like a generate infinite mana deck.
Yeah.
Where I run stuff like mana echoes so that I can get like I'll make 700 slivers so that I have like thousands of mana and then I'll Comet Storm the table.
Gross.
Yeah.
But that's how he built the deck. That's what you can
But that's
do.
how Legends is. That's like they can't reprint that. What are they gonna what set are they gonna reprint that in, you know? Bring that up into standard?
Maybe they'll have a flip.
The price.
Yo, if they
The
did
power
something like a
jump again.
flip, that
Yeah,
would
because it's like, you know,
that'd
like
be
you have a
really
sliver
cool.
where it's like, you know, like a baby egg or something like that, and then like
fossil?
and then you fulfill
Bring-
some sort of like
like
thing, and then
some
it
sort of
flips
like
into-
pod that it's in. Like
Bring me
that
Sliver
thing.
King.
That-
I'm not getting any slivers for a while. They have made too many good sliver
But like,
commanders recently.
wouldn't that be cool? They made one.
Morophon's a good sliver commander. The
Yeah.
first sliver's a good sliver commander.
That's two.
Modern, yeah, that's way more than most tribes get. When's
That's
the last,
true.
When's the last
I
time
mean,
you got a good mono green elf commander?
I feel like it's unfair.
Marwyn, Dominaria?
I feel like it's unfair to like consider the Morophon though, because a Morophon could be commander for anything.
Yeah, but still, it
one
still
second.
counts though.
But Morophon lets you cast every one of the good slivers for free. It is the best in slivers. There's no tribe as good as slivers for Morophon's effect.
And it also enables
me.
you. Yeah, it also enables you to do tribes where you don't have a commander for that tribe. Like God Tribal is a big thing with Morophon.
Yep, that's a
Right.
popular one.
Yeah, it's a huge thing. But once again, like the majority of the gods are expensive.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, it's like you can go back and forth with Morophons. Like, okay, if I don't do that, maybe I'll do an elf tribal instead because you know most of them will be free. Or like if you do, let's say you want to play around with the equipment, so I choose Danatha,
Yep.
where like equipment spells cost 1 less to cast. I can either go expensive, where I get all the swords, Feast and Famine, Sinew and Steel, and all that stuff,
Masterpiece,
or I can go the cheap route.
Colossus Hammer, stuff like that.
Yeah, but like the budget makes a huge difference. Okay, it's the difference of I'm spending $300, of which 150 of those are just from the swords.
Again, from last week's episode, do you want the stuff that does not come into play tapped? Or do you want the stuff that comes into play tapped and is a little bit slower?
If you
Yeah.
look at, let's even say a 5-color deck. If you look at one deck that is running Guild Gates across all of it versus dual lands across all of it,
That's a huge difference.
the budget difference is nuts, but like each of those lands is just slowing you down one turn at a time. Like you're only one turn behind for thousands of dollars of difference, right?
Yeah.
That speed is what makes it. And some commanders just function better the faster they go. Some just function good on budget. Like when we did the Golos episode, I made a budget Golos and I have my expensive Golos list. And they're very similar
both good.
lists, but they're different ways to play it. You don't have to be sucked into this is the one way to play. And like when you choose a commander, if you choose something that is out of your budget, you're going to have not a good time because you're not going to actually build what you want. If you don't have the budget to play that commander the way you want to play it,
gonna be bummed.
all you're doing is going to wreck your own Friday night games.
Well, and also you're gonna wreck like your opinion of that commander and
Yep.
like how you felt about that deck, and like especially if it's one of your like earlier decks, you're probably just going to be like really dejected and like kind of be bummed out about the format, you know, like that's not really the vibe that you should be going for.
Or a color.
I
hate mono blue.
When I came back to playing Commander, the first Commander deck I built was Admiral Beckett Brass. I saw that and I was like, this is hilarious.
Pirates.
Yeah, that's not very good at all.
We found it
I was
day.
still used to playing like the modern format. None of that stuff is or not modern, vintage, sorry. And none of that stuff is like legal here. You can't go buy that stuff and put it into a deck. So I was like, well, I have this pirate. I've cracked some Ixalan. Let's build a deck basically in Ixalan.
Yeah.
It's not good.
It is by no means good.
But still, like, you're getting back into it.
I joke around and say Beckett Brass looks like my mom in cosplay.
But at the end of the day, it's like you still had fun doing that. Like you had fun with that deck, and then you also made a dinosaur deck, and that was when I was first learning how to play. And then we played together, and it was fun, and it was Ixalan, right? So like obviously it was a dinosaur deck. So, but it was fun, and we just kind of did our thing, and kind of like eased our way into it. Whereas like if he would have like gone on EDH Rec or like gone on the internet and been like, oh, like I should make this, and then tried to do it right off the bat. Like,
here's this deck list. Try figure out while trying to learn it.
Trying to learn a new format, like I think that would have sucked.
And like especially considering like when we're talking about like a budget, okay, 4-color and 5-color commanders
tend to be more expensive.
But it also depends on your play group, okay?
Yep.
If your play group plays more like Battlecruiser Magic, you can put in more of the tap lands or stuff like that, or the tri-lands that are coming out and everything. Hopefully, like I think the tri-lands are going to be super expensive, so
crack those packs, baby.
Someone was telling me that they believe they're going to be around $1.50 a land, and I said that
I'll buy them all.
Yeah, I'll take every one of them. I'll fill binder pages with those. I build a lot of decks.
Homie will get a P.O. box.
But like if you're playing slower Magic, okay, or your play group is slower. Yeah, you can play 4 or 5 colors, and you can slowly ramp things. Build it up and all that stuff, okay? But if you're playing like in your play group where like it's very like you guys care about chip damage, you guys, you know, can win off turn 5, 6, 7 kind of deal. Playing a 4 or 5 commander or color commander
can be really hard.
It's going to be really hard and expensive.
It is easier to start in mono.
I also think
mono is the cheapest.
Like my personal examples of that. Sorry, my voice just got weird. Is my Attracted deck and my Dragon deck are good examples of like the arms race almost of that. And so like my Attracted deck was basically like an out of the box one, and then it got to a point where like the arms race at our kitchen table kept getting like so crazy, so now it's like this super like intense like can go off, and like everything has 40 counters on it on turn 6. You know what?
Just saying,
You're playing with Daniel and his brothers.
On the kitchen table, it's just like,
Yeah, well, that's just what it is. But, so it got to this crazy point. But that's not what it always was. And if I would have started that way, it would have been super expensive and super brutal.
Well,
and same with my dragons.
I would assume.
Yeah. Well, and it's the same with my dragons. My dragons started, not that it was a bad deck, but it started as a precon.
Yeah, it was precon or dragon.
Yeah, I just took it out and started playing it. And, like, over time, it got much better. But now that deck is super expensive. Like, not to flex, but, like, it
we went and got duels, and we made it more efficient.
I've got a Secret Lair or dragon because I'm that guy. But, like, all that kind of stuff, all that kind of garbage.
That was one of the best Secret Lairs, the Killer Kaleidoscope.
That was so
but
nice.
Like it just is what it is. Like it's just became this like super intense deck, but like it didn't have to be like that.
Yeah.
Like that's not that saying that the original deck was bad or like the original edits were bad, or if I brought the land base down to something more reasonable that it would be bad. It would just be slower.
Like I want to bring up a point that you brought up. Okay, is just the fact that you talked about the arms race. Okay, and I think this is one really important thing. If your playgroup has an arms race, do you want to join it or not? Because Brian and I had this problem in our playgroup.
Do you want to have fun or lose?
Well, that's the thing, okay? Like it's not really that. Like my mind changed when that was going on with us. Because when our playgroup had an arms race, I found that I couldn't keep up with it, and I wasn't getting interested in playing as much anymore because I discovered that the arms race that we were doing was not my play style. So I reversed everything, and this is where my jank creation started. Okay, my book tribal started from this because I wanted to lower that arms race. And I'm like, here's my jank deck. And everyone's like, it's not going to win. I'm like, that's not the point.
I'm going to try,
don't care.
yeah.
I'm going to still try and I'm going to work on it and I'm going to improve. It took me a year and a half and I'm still making changes to it because new sets come out.
Yeah.
But it's been a year and a half and I keep on changing it out again and again and again. And it competes.
Updating the library, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Quite literally updated the index.
It also makes you play a little bit better with your politics and stuff, right? It makes you actually focus on that.
You're very engaged.
You can't just threaten people every game like I do.
Yeah, it's like and I joke around with people. I learned to politics with that.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, I'm gonna hit you for the 1 damage. Hey, I pretend to be like Amazon. Early day where when they only sold books. I'm like, here, we heard of this new technology called a drone, and I'll attack you with a 1/1 Thopter. I'm like, here's your payment. It's stupid,
just
but
silly
people
decks.
laugh and they're like, yeah, I'll take the 1 damage and it won't attack me again.
Yo, I totally get that though, because I was the same. Like when the arms race got wild and I was just not about it. I just stopped playing Magic.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to take a step back. Like I stopped playing for like 2 months.
And an honest problem too is
I put my head down and went in.
we play.
Yes, you did.
So what happens is you play to your meta, and that's the best way most people do. The big issue here, at least where we play, is that I play with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And you cannot adjust to my meta. I make so many decks, it's nuts. Most people who play against me have never played the same 2 decks twice. There's no way of knowing actually what I'm going to play. Like last night I played Kenrith and then Feather.
Yeah.
Today, like I have over 100 decks.
It's like, did you even know he had a feather deck? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Brian,
But, like, you know what I
Brian
mean?
has seen the Feather deck once, but it's the same. Like,
So annoying.
had you ever seen my Rune deck? My Rune deck has been around.
Don't talk to me about
It was
Rune.
probably Rune was probably my 4th commander deck that I made when I started playing Commander again.
Salt is real, Daniel.
Yeah,
That Frost Titan bounce? What a piece of garbage.
Yep.
Frost Titan and Manowar with the Panharmonicon. What?
But that's the thing, though. Like I learned from playing this deck and making these jank decks that people like you guys know when I walk into LGS, I greet everyone.
Yeah.
I take my time. My first half an hour to an hour is just going around greeting everyone, talking to the store owner, talking to his wife, playing with the kids and everything. Just
like
hanging out before I sit down and play. And people know me, and when I start bringing out the jank decks, they're like, "Oh, it's you. Okay,
I'll play this. This is
You're
silly.
the
Yeah.
jank guy.
yeah, I'm gonna play this other deck. Oh, come here. I made this deck especially to go against your stuff, and this caused everyone to lower the arms race
And
to
have
have
more
more
fun.
fun.
Yeah.
And
And I think it's easy to recognize how much fun you're having. You know what I mean? Like when you play. And I feel like that's something that I also really aspire to. It's just like having fun in deck when I play. Like it's not often that you'll see me like legitimately unhappy unless something really dumb is going on. It's more of like I want to play the game. Like let's go.
Daniel's not playing his Salt.
Even when Daniel plays Assault though, then I go out of my way just to like bug him. And then it's just funny. Because like if he's taking it seriously and I'm not at all, like that's fun.
Way funnier.
still.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
It's just like, having fun when you're playing is like my 10 out of 10. That's my entire goal. Even like when we streamed 2 weeks ago, I won 1 game, but like I aggressively lost the other 2. And like, but I had so much fun. And even like our guest, Prime Speaker Florian, was saying that he felt bad that he was like crushing. And I'm like, that's not really the
I had
point.
so much fun.
I had so much
Regardless
fun.
of the fact I had so much fun.
That's not because it was like fun plays and silly things
Yeah.
and like a doubled 3, like a six instances of villainous wealth. Like that's fun.
That was funny to watch resolve.
That's cool. Like that's the kind of Magic I want to play.
Yeah.
And like that's the vibe that it should be.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's close it out. Let's talk about everyone will just say how your favorite way to pick a commander. We'll start you, Sherman.
Oh, me, it's how can I say it? I'm going to be different from all you guys. I reverse engineer everything because I'm the jank player. You guys know that.
Yeah. So you like build your 99.
No, I look for my concepts first, and then I look for a commander that fits that concept. Okay, and it's very difficult when it comes to jank. Okay, sometimes it's simple where I'm just looking for a certain theme, like a sacrifice theme or something like that. But if it's something related to artwork, then I have to pull up the colors that I want to play with it, and then I have to scroll through. Or if I want to, like, at one point in time, I wanted to make, there's a Catan deck. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to make it out of Saskia, because I wanted a 4-color deck. Okay, so swamps would be like clay, or not, clay. Red would be brick. Forests are going to be wood, and plains would be wheat. And then I would have the sheeps inside for the wool. Okay, and then you have
Don't say you know like I know.
No, we don't know.
You guys have never played Settlers of Catan?
No.
Oh man. Okay, I'll explain that later.
Yeah.
Also no.
Okay. Then we gotta sit down and play it. But for those listeners that understand, like, Settlers of Catan is all about playing with resources, and these are the 4 there's 5 resources, okay?
Oh, so you're trying to, like, represent?
Yeah.
Interesting. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, so I had to find something that would... Yeah. So I had to find something that would fit for that, okay? So my thought is always... I'm always reverse engineering, okay? And sometimes I have to go through, like, the 900 plus... commanders to look for something, or if I just find something that I really, really, really want to play, I'll just play it. So,
yeah,
Brian?
Fair.
Me, I usually look. So, like when I built my Mogus deck, I played it was another person that played it, and then seeing the groans and just how people were like, "Ugh," I was like, "That's hilarious." Yeah. So I went out and built it. But like right now, like I'd say like one of my projects is Kalia. I bought specific art for her from Mythic Black Core, which is, since I'm a huge Game of Thrones nerd, I got the altered one that looks like Daenerys or the Khaleesi. So I'm making a dragon-themed deck out of her just due to the art that she has. So most times, like I mentioned at the beginning, I go out of my way to choose commanders that other people are not running.
Yep.
The only reason I built a Tulane was because I had it half built, and I said I wanted to have a ramping deck that
something that ramped a little harder.
Yeah.
And then other than that, maybe I have a cool altar because I bought the Darth Sidious altar that I have. So I'm like, I kind of want to make just a mono black zombie deck.
Yeah.
And so it just really depends upon that. Other than that, it's just mainly I want to build something that other people don't.
Off meta picks, Hope, how do you choose?
Well, for me, I actually only recently started, like, from scratch a deck building, like, as opposed to just, like, building off of, like, existing things that either we had or precons. And for me, it's more about, like, what I think is fun. Like I said, like, with the Leviathans and the Krakens, like, it's dumb and fun, but, like, to get actually, like, play as many as I want, like, then I need to have something like Braids, that's gonna actually, like, just dump them in. I think Chaos is silly and fun and stupid. And, like, even, like, my little pet project right now is Nicol Bolas. And obviously everybody knows that I love Bolas. And, like, I'm sorry that I'm building a Bolas deck. Like, I'm sorry in advance. But, like, it's fun. And, like, I've always loved Nicol Bolas and, like, his lore and story. And, like, so I want to make a Bolas deck. So, obviously, I take the good creature one, which is the Ravager, the flip one. So it's just, like, what makes me happy and what I think is fun. And a big thing for me, too, is lore and, like, what creatures, like, I have some sort of, like, affinity and love for,
Sorry. This is how my jank mind works. So you're saying, like, you want to make a Bolas deck. Yeah. Off the bat, my head is like, I want to make a bowling deck where you see someone throwing balls or something like that. See, this is how my mind works. Okay, this is how it works. Okay, you're either throwing like rocks or something like that, or you're casting things like flaying or something like that.
I feel like goblins are probably like really good for that.
Anyway, aerodynamic.
Daniel, can I guess how you pick your commander?
You can't just say it has legendary.
I was gonna say
legendary.
No, we have lived together for too long.
There is 2 things that I base my decks on, and I don't think either anyone
Fun
here
or competitive.
Nope.
Sure,
we'll take a guess. Yeah.
Let me think.
If
you can break it, no. Oh shoot.
The salt.
Nope.
Okay, I get it.
Darn.
Well, you're the closest with the salt. There's thing number 1 is if I like the artwork of the card. If I like the artwork of the card, it does not matter how bad the card is.
You're going to find a way.
I'm going to build it as a commander deck.
Like
I love
the Bears.
a really,
Yeah.
Aeola's a really good example. That's my playmat for most of the people. I have a huge stack of playmats.
Your favorite artist.
But Aeola, like I have like a signed one from the artist. I love the artwork on it. Linden, I really, really like the artwork on Linden. Linden is not a good commander, but I have a Linden deck. It's a very fun Linden deck. The other criteria is how much trash I can talk while I play it. It doesn't matter if that's salty trash or anything. A really good example is Norrin the Wary. I am so annoying when I play it because I just sit there and I scream every time somebody plays a spell. I'm like, Every time he goes off, and I pick it up and I flip it over, and everyone's like, "We get it," and I'm like, "Oh, he bounces in. Oh, here it comes. Oh." Those are the things that I like to build decks on. Like the same reason, my rune deck is all about the fact that I can talk just some real good trash while I'm bouncing acidic slime or while I'm bouncing my wood elves. Oh, I'm gonna get some more for us. Oh, it'd be a shame if you lost that, wouldn't it? I love building decks that
It's so true.
Do you have any untapped lands?
that let me sit there.
tap
It's the exact
You don't
same thing.
untap?
We're playing, and I was against a combat deck when we were playing the stream, and I'm sitting in flashing Stonehorn Dignitary. I'm like, you're not attacking nothing. That's the kind of decks I like to build. Just ones that let me just talk some good humorous trash. I don't know if everyone else likes it, but I sure do. And if I just like the artwork.
Are you having fun?
Yes.
So-
The Zerd is a really good example. I was going to build a Zerda deck because I just like the artwork. Again, that's my favorite artist in Magic. But that being said,
Who's that artist?
Jesper Edgesing.
Yeah.
Jesper.
Shout out.
But the fact that it goes competitive so easy is really, really exciting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I want to make a
competitive Boros is awesome. I want to kill people in competitive Boros so badly.
yeah. Well,
I'm gonna call it BEDH.
well, like I want to make the Azurda deck as well, and like
That's
we
the
were
little fox,
chatting
right?
about that. Sorry.
Is that the little fox?
Yeah.
The new one?
Yeah.
It's so cute.
It's cute, but like its
love it.
ability is so strong. You know, like Daniel and I were talking about this in Discord a bit. And I'm just like, you know, like I was going through. I'm like, Daniel, they're just so broken. And Daniel was like, well, why? It's like, well, like
Well, he does go infinite so easy. He essentially works like a Rings of Brighthearth almost.
Yeah. So it's
Pay
so
less
insane.
for activated abilities, so he can go infinite with just a Rings of Brighthearth.
Yeah, or Basalt Monolith, or you can put like a Palladium with like a Umbral mantle on it and go infinite, or you can, like, the list goes on. I found so many, I'm just like, I don't know if I
He's
should
a
do
fun
this.
commander to try break, and Boros doesn't have anything, I don't know,
Boros
good.
might actually be good this time.
Boros doesn't have anything good ever.
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah, it's red and white, nothing is good. I think one of the best Boros commanders is Firesong and Sunspeaker. That's
just
That's
fun.
saying something.
That's
Yeah.
just fun.
Yeah.
That's the top of the Boros food chain.
I was gonna say like pretty good can be Gisela. I'm like, but it's 7 costs.
Yeah, just-
so like oof.
Whenever you get around to it.
Yeah.
Thank God you're in the ramp. Oh.
How about the card draw? Oh.
Oh no.
But yeah, let us know how you pick your commanders. Like, what goes into your thought process? Like, we obviously all
We're all
approach it
very
very
different.
differently. But what do you like? What makes you want to build a commander? Do you like to build lots of decks? Do you like to fine tune decks? What makes you choose how you play?
Or are you the kind of person that like makes one deck every week? Because there are people out there that are like that. I know you people exist out there, and like some of the creativity that goes behind that is
Yeah.
amazing.
well,
Sometimes,
well,
you
at
know,
the
it's
end,
just
like it is
holy
pretty
smokes.
incredible to see people like just bang out decks like that. Like
And they're
it's
good decks
cool.
too.
Yeah,
they're good.
neat.
They're not like like oh, it's like a power
You
level
just
like
slap
2,
together a
3.
bunch of
Please,
blue cards.
please, you're all too kind.
But yeah, to that end, like we said, let us know how you pick yours. Are there any maybe from the new set that you've already kind of set your sights on and
And for
wanna hear
Brian
about
as
that?
well, let him know your off meta picks. What do you play that no one else at
Yeah.
your game store plays? What's a
Ooh.
weird
Yeah,
commander?
give me ideas.
Yeah, we want to hear it. So
Yeah.
let us know on our Facebook, Instagram. You can hit us up on Twitter as well. We do stream every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
And this week we have Vile Smasher coming on from
cool.
Instagram.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
Yes,
So another new guest coming on to
that's gonna be exciting.
Or is it
Mediate
Vile
with us.
Smashed, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Vile Smashed.
File
yeah.
smashed.
But yeah, no, it'll be a very fun time. The game's really interactive. Stop in and chat with us on Twitch. Check out any of the articles on our website, and the podcast also available on the website. lots of feedback on the last one, as I'm sure a few of you know. Thank you to any new listeners, and yeah.
We'll see you next week.
All right, catch you later.
See ya.
Bye.